So we're going to do a quick introduction to environmental monitoring and to microbiology. You're not going to get a degree in micro today. We're starting from the very beginning and we'll be peeling the onion one layer at a time. So everything's true, nothing's dumbed down, but we're going to stick to the basics. Now what we're trying to do is we want people who don't have a microsensitive product and don't have microsensitive processes to be able to explain why they don't have to worry about microbes. See, everybody that works with anything that touches food has to be able to justify what they do to control biological hazards. Now, whether that's just basic sanitation or whether you need a full micro-control program like you'd find in a meat plant or in a yogurt manufacturing plant. So even though micro might not play a big part of your day-to-day, you still need to know enough to talk about it, even if for no other reason than to justify not having microcontrols or not having an environmental monitoring program. Now the kicker is, it's almost easier to explain big complicated programs than to explain very simple ones. And here's why. The people who work with microsensitive products talk about it all day long. So they know the language, they have the experience. But people who don't do anything special to control pathogens in their day-to-day, for example, if you work in packaging manufacturing or in a distribution center or in a salt evaporation plant, well, you probably don't talk about micro very often, and that's quite fine. But if you don't talk about micro in your day-to-day, you don't gain the knowledge and you don't have the experience that helps you justify not talking about it. And if you can't justify what you're doing, or especially if you can't justify what you're not doing, you're at the mercy of someone challenging you and asking, why don't you do this, why don't you do that? So not being ready for this type of challenge, that's a recipe for red tape and extra work that is not good work. So the best case scenario is that you can explain why you don't need to do anything more than what you're already doing. So today we're going to arm you with the basics to help you with that explanation. And how to of doing that, how to justify programs that make sense to you using concepts and vocabulary of micro and risk management, well, that's the topic of an upcoming webinar on risk and environmental monitoring. So if that's you, if you want to be stronger in defending simple programs without having to become an expert in micro, click on that button.